Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel basically to document my journey. I'm currently a student pilot, just basically been recording my flights and wanted to document basically my experiences and all the craziness that's been going on while I'm up in the air and how much fun I've been having working my way as a student pilot. It's a hobby of mine that I've been doing for about about a year now. Yeah. And so this is a flight that I recently just took. And so I'm just reacting to it. And without further ado, let's start it off here.
Start 532, clear to base, maintain 2500.
So at this point here, I think what's going on is I just basically made a radio call to the tower and I'm holding shorter than runway. And basically they're just about to give me instructions of whenever I'm clear to take off or if I have to line up and wait. So whenever you make a call to tower on the run up, they always give you one or two responses, essentially. It's either line up and wait or then clear for takeoff, and then you just repeat the command and go from there.
November 8 Charlie Charlie runway 34, line up away, traffic 4 mile right.
I assume he's going to let him go first.
34,
Yeah.
Charlie Charlie.
Okay.
He's IFR traffic, so
545, you can begin descent, traffic hold in position prior to arrival.
they want to get these guys out of here, you know what I mean?
545.
Which makes sense.
And then he's going to go next.
Right 5, where you headed?
So one thing, I don't know, you probably may not be familiar with a lot of plane terminology. He's mentioning IFR and VFR. So when I do my training, what I'm always doing is VFR. That's visual flight rules. But a lot of times when you're in the airport and you're about to take off, you got a lot of planes that are doing what's known as IFR, and that's instrument flight rules. And so basically with visual flight rules, as you can imagine, it's basically when you're able to fly and you're able to see everything. So in general, when you're in your VFR, you can't fly in the clouds at certain altitudes, you can't fly. Whereas if you're IFR, or instrument flight rules, you're able to fly in, not the best ideal conditions. You're able to fly in clouds and foggy conditions like that. And so for me, it's currently what I'm doing is a private pilot. And so I'm VFR, and that's basically what I'm working on right now. Maybe one day I'll be instrument, most likely, because it would be cool to be able to fly in clouds and different stuff like that. But as for right now, that's what we're doing. So I just wanted to explain that real quick. All right, let's continue.
Thrust 551, caution wing turbulence, runway 34, clear for takeoff, traffic 2 mile final.
Okay.
Runway 34, clear for takeoff, press right 1. Let's go.
All right, so you see, still struggling with these radio calls. And so that's another thing, I've been working on. There's because when I'm piloting, there's so much stuff going through my head. When I'm doing that, trying to remember all the things we're doing, where we're going, what we debrief before the flight. And so what threw me off was the command to wait turbulence. And so I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to say at that moment. And Miz, my instructor, and by the way, I didn't introduce my instructor here. My instructor here is Walter. He's the one who's been instructing me for a couple of flights now. And then we have a liftoff. Yeah, one thing I'm noticing is my takeoff is getting good now. And so I think that's actually been the easiest part in flight training for me is the takeoffs. Now landings, you boys still got a lot of work to do with those. Yeah.
Thrust 533, affirmative, and you can now begin your descent.
Begin a descent, all that traffic, thrust 533.
Thrust 541, your number 2, fall on that traffic ahead, runway 34, clear to land. It's the traffic at you about 11 o'clock at 1,500 still on the base, about to turn final.
We had him, we lost him in the sun here, just 533.
Yeah, so they're here making our right turn to the east here. And gotta remember to clean off them screens. But yeah, we're going our VFR to the east. Can't remember where we're actually going in this flight. my memory calls, I think we have touch and goes for this, but we'll see. So now we're setting the plane to cruise. I think we just reached our altitude. So yeah, so at this point, we've got all these like several configurations and attitudes that we got the plane in. So what you saw there is like after we did the takeoff, we went to a climb, and then now we're just basically just orienting the plane to straight and level to just cruise to our destination. So here, this has been one of the interesting things about piloting. There's a ton of multitasking. Yeah, and so one of the things you'll hear my instructor repeat a lot, he's always talking about aviate, navigate, communicate. That's another thing I'm really trying to work on with this, because we've got a lot of checklists, and we got to still make sure we're still flying the plane as we're going through these checklists here. And so, as you can see, I'm going through the cruise checklist with I have like all these several checks that I got to do. One interesting thing about planes is that our sources of fuel are actually inside the wings, which is that was a cool thing to learn about, is that the fuel is inside the wings. And then throughout the time that you're flying, as you see me there turning the fuel pump on, we constantly switch from fuel source. And the reason why we do that is we'll see throughout this journey, weight and making sure the weight is evenly distributed all throughout is really important. And so what happens is periodically you want to check the fuel and see how many gallons on the left wing or how many gallons are also on your right wing. And you constantly want to adjust to be draining or consuming fuel from the wing that has the greatest supply of fuel in it. And so that's what I'm doing here.
Fuel pump off. Oop, I need to descend here.
Good.
And light.
November 2 Alpha Echo runway 34, line up away traffic, 4 mile final
That's
set.
it.